Good morning. It is finally race day, the first triathlon since I'm in Copenhagen in August 2019. So I thought I would give you guys a little bit of an insight into what goes on, what I get up to, and the fact that the dogs woke me up at 5:30 this morning with barking. So I'm quite tired. Spent the day yesterday doing a little bit of running, got the TT bike out and tried out new wheels, new helmet, getting all of that sorted, used to the new kit. We are racing at Dorney, which is about an hour and a half away from here. With COVID regulations, we can't get there until 11. I'm going off at 12:30. I can get into transition at 11:30, so we have quite a leisurely start this morning. Don't need to leave here until about 9. Might go for a bit of a run, not really sure. It's not raining yet, and I feel like it's supposed to rain all day, so should make the most of the fact it's not raining. But we'll see. It will only be a 15-minute run or so. So yeah, excited. Sprint triathlon, 750 metre swim, just over 21k on the bike, and a 5k run. Obviously, looking at the results yesterday, the course looks slightly long. Most people are getting 800 metres or so on the swim, almost 22k on the bike, and 5.5 on the run. So we'll see. Puts a bit of a question mark over the times that I thought I was going to do, because the bits are longer, but that's fine. It's also supposed to be absolutely throwing it down with rain, which also means slower carbon rims on the TT bike, which means braking will be a lot less fun, and wet shoes on the run. But there we go. First triathlon of the year in Britain in thunderstorms. And wait. Catch you all later. We are out on the run. It's about 7:15. I'm 12:50 in, nearly 1500 into the run. This might be a bit bouncy. It is dry here, but we've had so much rain overnight, and expecting more in about an hour. Unfortunately, it's rolling in already in Dorney, so by the time we get there, it's probably going to be raining. I'm actually really excited. I've, like I said, not raced a triathlon since 2019, but been training pretty solidly throughout lockdown. Well, I got put on furlough last year and then got made redundant, so I've had a lot of opportunity to train. I do now have a job. I'm not a full-time athlete. Spend a lot of time balancing, which is great fun, but I haven't had the opportunity to test, and I've set benchmarks in training and opportunities that I can progress, but there's something about starting on a start line just to see how far you've come since the process started. Around this time last year, I ran a 5k PB of 20:49, 20:45, something like that. And last week before last, I ran an 18:51. So I've made a lot of progress, and I just can't wait to see what it's like when I actually start racing. This is a sprint, so it's far shorter than what I'm training for. My focus this year is 100-mile time trial, beginning of July, and then Ironman in October with a 70.3 in September. So training my body for distance, but if anyone watches Lionel Sanders' YouTube or has kept up with what's been going on with the PTO and all the challenges out in America. Speed is important for making you go fast over the long distances, so let's get on it. Let's get going. Okay, so apologies if you just suffered through the last 2 minutes of video. Never run and recorded before, so it could have been an absolute nightmare. Just done my 3.3 kilometre run. Nice and steady, really easy, just keeping it relaxed, trying to get rid of some pre-race day stress. I'll talk about my past injury in another video, but I get really stiff in the mornings, so doing something before getting in a car for an hour and a half to go and race is really important for me. Not for everyone, wouldn't recommend it for everyone, but important for me. So, run done, bike is ready, dogs have been played with. Now it's time for bacon sandwich, probably. Let's pack the car, get going. Okay, so we have made it. Nice and early, which is excellent because I hate being late. And bike is together. You can kind of, well, boots open, bike's out the back. Tri-suit is on, wetsuit is somewhere, transition bag is ready, and I've got about 40 minutes until I'm allowed into transition to drop everything off, I think. Maybe a bit longer. So yeah, I'm gonna chill here for a bit. Got my dry robe on to stay nice and dry. It's been actually quite nice driving over, and then the rain clouds have arrived, so I think it might be about to get quite wet. Anyway, outside. It's done. I'm back in absolutely classic fashion. Got absolutely no footage whatsoever once we left the car. There are no spectators allowed here, so couldn't have anyone really out on the course. Matt was racing also, so he couldn't just like be by the side of the car ready to take footage. So I'll do a little bit of a debrief. First off, great event. Really amazing to be back racing. Slightly surreal. It's been a long time, a long time coming. So it was just fantastic to be ready to go again. On that note, everything was definitely just slow. Transitions were slow. Getting off the start was slow. The kind of, I don't know, savagery that you're used to in racing when you race a lot just kind of wasn't there, which is fine. Today was definitely more about building confidence and having a race that, pardon me, I come away from and I'm like, yeah, happy with that. Swim was a time trial start with 5 second gaps. I went off third swimmer, immediately caught second swimmer. She just took a while getting down the swimming ramp. So that may have slowed down me as I got across the start mat. But swim was solid. It was long. It was definitely longer than 750. I know GPS isn't that accurate, but my watch beeped for 800 in the water, so I think it was closer to 800 meters than 750. Felt strong, didn't panic. Cold water was fine. Was, I think, 11.5 minutes or something like that, which is, that's okay. If it had been 750, I'd wanted closer to 10.5. Don't know how far it was, so therefore, don't know. Coming into T1, had massive race brain and just kept pressing the wrong button on my watch and couldn't figure out why it wasn't going into transition mode. So if you follow me on Strava, my swim is not accurate. As you can see, apparently I swam on land. Anyway, figured that out. Transition 1 was slow. Can't really figure out why. I think I just couldn't compute what I needed to do at all points. And I took flipping ages getting on my bike. Couldn't figure it out. Literally could not figure out how to get my leg over properly, and the pedals were in the wrong place. Anyway, fine. Absolutely fine. Got on the bike and just settled in. The wind had swapped, so it was a tailwind out and a headwind back, but we'd been expecting a crosswind. So it was really nice on the way out, a bit gritty on the way back, but nothing major, like wind wasn't a factor. However, coming into the T transition split where you either go continue on or come into transition, the marshal ushered me into transition, thinking I was in the wave before and was therefore an ITU male, which I'm not. So that was really frustrating. So I didn't get far down the chute before I realised, but you go from like 40k an hour to a standstill to unclipping, turning your bike around, coming back out the chute. So I initially I thought maybe it wasted 30 seconds. I think probably on reflection it was a bit more by the time you get back up to speed, but that's okay. Got back on the bike, continued round without any problems, then knew each lap which way to go, which is helpful. Not that I didn't know, but when you've got someone waving and dancing at you to go into the transition chute, you just kind of follow. Bike was not up to my high standards of what I expect myself. Maybe it was that transition issue. I've just changed the setup on my bike and I've just had upgrades done, so that could be it. I have, unless I'm on Zwift, which has been a massive breakthrough for me in the last couple of months, I have always, in this sport, in rowing and in swimming, I've struggled with the short punchy efforts. I am much more at home with just chugging away for hours on end. So yeah, I think 20k for me is just one of those that I could probably have put that effort in for 40 kilometers and not been any more fatigued, maybe even a half. I don't have power. I don't have a power meter on my TT bike at the moment, so no idea how hard I was trying, which is also a factor. But I've got 6 weeks now until my next race on my TT, so it's going to be a big 6-week block focusing on that long effort. Next race is a 100-mile time trial, so 20k in a sprint try means very little. But I know that my biking is good, so the focus for today was to feel good onto the run and come through the run consistently, not blowing up, and finish positively rather than finish in a negative space. And I always find that if you have a great run and a great bike and a terrible run, you'll focus more on the run and you'll be upset with the race. And if you have a terrible bike but a great run, you'll focus more on the run and you'll be happy with the race. So my idea was come off the bike and run at 4-minute pace. And I did that. So I think I was 3:58, 3:59, 4:06 at the turnaround, 3:58, 3:58-ish. Course again was long, it was over 5k, but still it was a sub 20-minute 5k. And then a sub 20-minute run split, the sub 4-minute average run split, which was great. Really, really happy with that. I think that just shows how much my running's come on in the last year. The fact that yes, my 5k PB has dropped by 3 minutes, or 2 minutes, but I can also now run that off the bike, which is epic. Even better is that it didn't rain during my race. However, I don't know if you can see the rain on the windscreen. It's definitely raining now. I went out with my pastor to go and shout for Matt, and then it started raining. So as soon as he came past, I came back in the car. Probably should go and see if he's on the 5k course yet. He might be. But yeah, all in all, fantastic event. I stayed dry. I executed the plan. Biking was a bit off, but I didn't, like I said, I don't have power, so it's really hard to know whether you're on plan or off plan. Not sure when I'll get power. I might just borrow some power pedals for the 100-mile TT and just use different cleats. Don't know yet. It's expensive, as everyone will know. It's really expensive. But yeah, amazing event. So fantastic to be back racing. I'm just over the moon. Total time was 1 hour 10:03. I'd wanted sub 1 hour 10, so without that bike issue it would have been, which is a little bit frustrating. 3 seconds is like, oh, that's just, anyone can find 3 seconds. but it is what it is. I didn't do anything stupid after the bike issue. I just stuck to the plan and didn't try and make up time, which is hugely beneficial because otherwise you'll blow up and not execute the plan and be disappointed. Whereas at least I stuck to what I was supposed to do. So yeah, I think that's it. We're gonna go and get coffee now, probably cake. I say now, when Matt gets back. I'm dry, I'm warm, my hair is a bird's nest, but everything survived. So, great first race.